Hey, real estate pros! Today, I'm diving into one of the most critical, yet often overlooked components of property ownership, title insurance. Welcome to Title Insurance 101, Protect Your Property Like a Pro. Now, imagine buying a beautiful new property, only to find out months later that someone else claims ownership. Nightmare, right? Title insurance is your shield against such surprises. Let's start with a quick history lesson. Back in the day, property transactions relied on abstractors and attorneys who manually reviewed historical records. But errors and fraud were rampant. Fast forward to 1876 in Philadelphia, Joshua Morris founded the first title insurance company, the Real Estate Title Insurance and Trust Company. This was a game changer, providing financial protection against defects in ownership. So how has title insurance evolved? By the early 20th century, it became a national standard, especially crucial for mortgage lending. Today, title professionals use cutting-edge tech like digital records and AI to ensure accuracy and efficiency in title searches. This evolution has made title insurance an indispensable tool in real estate. But why is title insurance more important now than ever? Modern threats like title fraud are on the rise. Cybercriminals can forge documents or manipulate records, leaving unsuspecting homeowners vulnerable. Title insurance protects you from these risks, ensuring your ownership is secure. Let's break down the main types of title insurance policies. First, there's the owner's title insurance. This policy protects homeowners from undisclosed claims or legal disputes that could threaten ownership. Fraud, unknown liens, errors in public records, you name it, this policy has got you covered. Then there's the lender's title insurance. Required by most mortgage lenders, this policy protects the financial institution's investment in the property. It covers invalid liens, foreclosure protection, and ensures the borrower legally owns the property. And let's not forget those optional endorsements for unique scenarios like extended owner's title insurance, leasehold title insurance, and construction loan title insurance. So, how does title insurance compare to homeowner's insurance? Simple. Title insurance protects against past issues related to property ownership, while homeowner's insurance covers future physical damage or loss. Both are essential, but they serve different purposes. Ready to dive deeper into title research and abstracting? Head over to Amazon.com and grab your copy of Title Research and Abstracting Business in a Box. And don't forget to click the link below to register for our course that'll teach you how to operate and profit in this field and even become a licensed title agent. Thanks for watching, real estate pros. Protect your property like a pro with title insurance. This has been an educational session by Public Research Inc. And remember, always safeguard your investments. Catch you in the next video.
All right. Listen, I am so glad that you're able to join us. Today, we're going to be talking more about title abstracting. So you wonder, why is it important that we understand the history of title insurance? Well, here's the reason why that's important. Because the main reason title abstracts are needed is to ensure that there are no encumbrances in the title that would hinder the property from being marketable. So even if you are doing title research for an assignment or for a satisfaction for a release of mortgage, it's still necessary to make sure that in the history of the title that there's nothing inhibiting it from being marketable. Because there are mortgages that are going to be encumbering the property. There are other things that will need to be done, UCCs and other things that will, different movement, transferring of title, of ownership. Every time there's a conveyance of any type or a hypothecation, meaning a mortgage, there is a reason to have an abstract done. And so the way that we protect the title is by making sure, firstly, that the title is secure. So when we talk about the history of title insurance, it's important that you understand, firstly, why abstracts have become necessary. Secondly, you want to understand why it's necessary that you know the proper procedure for completing an abstract. Okay, so I have noticed over the years that people just kind of jumped into and doing title research. They jumped into the theory of abstracting, and they've really had no training. Years ago, my husband and I became involved in abstracting. Firstly, by getting involved with helping one of the attorneys that was doing our closing. So at the time, we were mortgage professionals. I was a licensed mortgage banker. and my husband was a loan processor. Since then, I've had an opportunity to work in various areas. Loan processing, actually got a chance to be an FHA uh, underwriter for several years. All of those areas we had the opportunity to work in. As a licensed developer and real estate professional, had a chance to do all of that. Well, we got introduced to it because that attorney needed assistance with some of the title work. So he began to introduce us to that title work, helped us to understand the profession. And then from there, he began to employ us to get things done so that he wouldn't be running behind in the things that were necessary for him to get done. So that's really how we got involved. That's how we got introduced to the industry. And then it began to grow from there. So you say, how did it grow from there? Well, it became very lucrative for us. So we were able to turn it into a way of living. It became very lucrative for us. And then over the years, we began to help other people get involved with the business of abstracting. And then from there, I, of course, became a licensed title agent. I was afforded the opportunity to get involved with that. And I really enjoyed it over the years. And so understanding the foundation of why you're doing that abstract, why it's necessary, why it's crucial that your information be accurate is really important. When you start to look at how fraud was rampant before Joshua Morris back in the 1876 in Pennsylvania decided to develop a way that there would be a system in place to secure the title records, or at least to go in and research them and issue some type of protection against past defects in the title, because that had been an ongoing problem. Well, today we're having a problem with title fraud, people going in and actually extracting a portion of a person's legal description in terms of their ownership of the property and making it their own and borrowing against that property, which then encumbers the property and sometimes places the owner of the property in jeopardy of foreclosure, because they're not even familiar with the fact that someone has stolen their title interest to the property. So this makes abstracting a vital industry right now. So not only is it necessary so that title insurance companies can use it to insure the lender and to insure the owner against discrepancies and past defects in the title that can result in future claims, but it's also necessary to protect the homeowner, the property owner, the real estate owner, and their vested interest in the property. It's very important that the owner of the property stay abreast of what their title looks like and whether or not it continues to be marketable. So when Joshua implemented this program of being able to insure titles, it opened up a whole nother realm. Now, over the years, with technology being involved, it's definitely transformed the way that title research is done. There's digital record keeping that now makes it a little bit easier to be able to do the title history, to be able to go back 60 and 100 years to verify certain things, to do certain types of research. It has increased the probability, of course, of more fraud, but at the same time, it's made it more, I think, beneficial to those who are in the title profession to be able to catch and to spot fraudulent behavior and to protect against forgery. In that there's a digital way to be able to observe the title. So it saves time. It also catches those who are maybe encroaching on the property of lines of someone else. So we're going to be talking as we go along in these increments. We'll be talking about fraud and forgery protection, how to protect against errors in public records, how to protect against encroachments and disputes. We'll be talking about how to understand a legal description, how to read the metes and bounds, how to understand the different measurements, things that you can do in terms of foreclosure protection and the accuracy of ownership history. These are the subjects that we're going to be talking about, even leasehold title insurance and construction loans and how they involve the title history and how they encumber the title. how to clear them from the title. Uh, we're going to talk more in depth about the purpose of coverage and how it's a difference between homeowners insurance and title insurance. See, the homeowners insurance, it protects the physical embodiment of the real estate. If there's a building on there, if there are any improvements on that land, it protects against physical damage of any improvements that are on the land. However, title insurance protects against the title history, the ownership of the property. Homeowners insurance protects against the physical edifice, against the improvement that's on the land. It protects against any damages that may take place physically against that edifice or that building or that improvement that's on the land. But title insurance protects the ownership of the property. So just briefly letting you know that I'm inviting you to join us in each module. Now, if you want to get more of an understanding, maybe because you're interested in becoming a title professional, whether it be an abstractor or whether you want to learn more and understand more so that you can become a title agent, this course can assist you. Now, what you're going to get is several little increments of recordings. You'll have a recording that will come on prior to my teaching, and then I'll come on and teach briefly or expound briefly on the video that you've just seen. And then from there, you'll have an opportunity to communicate with me in the comments, to ask questions, to further your understanding. But where you're really going to get the meat of your understanding and certification is when you enroll, when you register for the class, for the course that will teach you in depthly, not only about abstracting, but it'll teach you how to make money, how to set up your company, an organization with the abstracting, and to be able to have consistent clients and to build a career, a financial career on real estate abstracting, and actually be able to gravitate into becoming a title insurance agent, which is a higher level of the title profession. So if you're interested in registering, reach out to me. Click the link below and register, and let's get you started in this business of abstracting and title professionalism. I'm Jacqueline Battle. And again, I want to let you know that this is the intellectual property of Public Research, Inc., and it's been copyrighted. Join me by clicking the link to register for future classes. Otherwise, I'll have these little short, brief increments online. You can get to those on my YouTube channel. But if you're really interested in the meat of it, the certification of it all, to getting to the point to where you may want to gravitate to become a licensed title insurance agent, which places you at a higher level and a higher benefit of the title profession, click the link below and register for the class. I just want to remind you, right now is the time to get involved in the title profession. Thanks.